welcome to Talk Fights. I'm Curtis Biggs. Muhammad Ali had a ton of very high-profile fights. From early on in his pro career, he was starting to become a household name because of the way that he boxed and the way that he talked, but also because of the fighters that he was beating. After taking it to guys like Archie Moore, Doug Jones, and Henry Cooper, even casual fans really had started to take notice. Then, after stopping Sonny Liston for the world title, stopping him again in the rematch, knocking out Floyd Patterson, knocking out Henry Cooper again, knocking out Cleveland Williams, knocking out Zora Foley, among others, Ali was the biggest attraction in the world, and everyone wanted to see him fight. Then, after standing up for his principles and refusing to be drafted into the military, he was stripped of his title and banned from boxing for 3.5 years. Upon his return, he knocked out Jerry Quarry, knocked out Oscar Bonavena, and then lost a very tough decision to Joe Frazier in that fight of the century. 4 months later, he returned, knocked out Jimmy Ellis, beat Buster Mathis, and was then matched up with a little-known fighter in Germany's Jurgen Blin. The fight took place in Zurich, Switzerland on December 26, 1971. It would be Ali's 6th fight in just over a year after a 3.5-year layoff. Going into this bout, Blin had a record of 27 wins with 9 losses and 6 draws, while Ali had a record of 33-1. But Ali also had 27 knockouts to his credit at that point in his career, while Blin only had 6 knockouts. And Ali, as I mentioned, had already fought and beaten a who's who of the world, while Jurgen Blin's best fight was probably in a loss to Joe Bugner, who Muhammad Ali would later go on to beat twice. The deck looks pretty stacked against Jurgen Blin, who, despite this, shows up prepared to give it his all. Right from the opening bell, Ali glides around the ring and snaps jabs into Jurgen's face. Jurgen tries to crouch and slip out of the way of those jabs. You can see Ali start to change the trajectory of his right hand, start chopping down with it to catch Blin as he's coming up from those low crouches. Jurgen starts the second round with another crouch and a long jab to the body. Then throws a big hook that lands. Another big hook from Blin that misses, but he's trying. Then throws a right hand that lands. Blin comes forward throwing bombs, but is maybe a bit too excited and throws himself into the ropes. In round 3, Blin is still coming forward, throwing big hooks and getting peppered with jabs for his trouble. But he has his moments. Ali's continuing to move and shooting out that long, stiff jab, cracking Jurgen over and over again. Another wild combo sends Jurgen back into the ropes. He continues to get punished with jabs. Blin lands a few hooks of his own, but is clearly slowing down. The left side of his face is starting to show damage from those chopping rights. The next march forward from Blin sees Ali catch him with 3 nice hooks on his way in, showing his superior athleticism and boxing ability. Another chopping right, and Blin is not looking good. An outsized, outclassed, outmatched Jurgen Blin is giving it everything he has, but it seems like Ali's got his number now. Letting him slip the jab with that low crouch, then popping him with the right on his way up. Or letting him crouch into a left uppercut. Rights and laughs, rights and laughs. Blin is just about finished. Solid jab and a hard cross, and that's all she wrote. Blin is not getting back up. Jurgen Blin only fought 5 more times after the Ali bout, with mixed success. 3 wins and 2 losses. His last fight was a knockout loss to the very tough Ron Lyle. Blin finished his career with 30 wins, 12 losses, and 6 draws. At the time of this video, he is 77 years old and still living in Germany. Even though his best known fight was a loss, it was a loss to the greatest. And I'm sure he's still a hero in Germany for his heart and his toughness. See you at the fights. Since I was doing another show on Ali, I thought it would be the perfect time to show off my Ali paintings. Now, I did not paint either one of these. I don't have any talent in that area. But it was a couple gentlemen that I met years back through boxing. I had noticed that each of them had started to post some different paintings of their own on Facebook. I was quite impressed with both of them. And so I asked each of them if they would paint me a picture of Muhammad Ali. I didn't tell either man that I was having another person do a painting. And I also didn't tell them anything about what I wanted. They both asked me, was there a certain picture, is there a certain kind of thing that I wanted in general? But I said, no, you guys are the artists, and I'd like to see what you would do with it. So this Ali painting, you see it's a much younger Ali. It's taken from a still photograph. It is in fact a painting. If I bring it up a little closer, you can probably see. Just fantastic. Just an excellent job. The gentleman who did this is an artist and also a boxer by the name of Todd Charlton out of Sarnia, Ontario. And this one is another picture of Ali. We have a slightly older Ali. This is in his second coming. This would be from the 3rd fight with Joe Frazier. You can see over in the corner here we have some sweat coming off of Frazier's head if you had the entire picture. And this gentleman's name was Dave O'Coin. Both these guys just did a fabulous job. I couldn't really be happier. And what I think is so great about it is, again, as I mentioned, I didn't tell either man that they had another person doing this, is the contrast between the two. In this one we have obviously an action shot, a color photo of an older Muhammad Ali. And this one we have a still photograph, a pose of a younger Muhammad Ali. Not quite the Cassius Clay era, but certainly a younger Ali. I want to thank these gentlemen so much. Todd Charlton, if I can get close enough, you can see his name in the waistband there. Maybe you can see it, T. Charlton. Again, just an excellent job and a huge painting. I love it so much. So great. And then this one, as I said, was by Dave O'Coin. And we have D.A. right there in the glare of the glove, if you notice that. Another just excellent job. Now, I will say that I did pay for these paintings. Anyone who's going to put this much effort and time and talent into something, I would never expect or ask them to do it for free. I'm not going to say what I paid for these, but I will say that it was totally reasonable and a very small price to pay for the lifetime of enjoyment I hope to get out of having these paintings hang on my wall. Originally I wanted to have them down here with my other fight stuff, but my worry is that they're going to get damaged. And I think that I'd get a lot more enjoyment out of having them hang in my dining room. So that's what I've decided to do. So once again, thank you so much, Dave O'Coin. Dave is out of Brantford. And thank you so much, Todd Charlton. And as I mentioned, Todd is out of Sarnia. You guys did a fabulous job. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much. See you at the fights. Alright. My secret power is fatness. You knew it. Oh, strong claws, dirty pool.